Good evening. Welcome back to Who Manifested This Shit. This is your hostess with mostest, Sunny Ray. I was excited to get back on here and record. I've been trying for the last month to get another video out to y'all. I want to thank everyone for the love on our last video. My friend and I, we've got 445 views as of today, and I can't tell you how exciting that is for me. And I want to thank every one of you for watching our videos, all of them, mine and LSDJ's. And just for all the love, we're up to 50 subscribers, so we can now do our live streaming podcast, and so be watching your notifications. If you have not subscribed yet, it does not cost anything. Hit the subscribe and hit the bell. The bell is your notifications. It will tell you when we upload any new videos, and it will also tell you when our first live streaming podcast is going to be. I wanted to touch on a couple things. I did say something about a part 2 on our review of the sour, Mendo Sour Diesel, is what we reviewed the last time my friend and I did, and that was one that it had some pretty good euphoric side effects. It did, like I said in the video, it seems like every 5-10 minutes after you smoke, that buzz just gets a little more intense, and so we were very happy with that one. Still going to rate it at a 6-7 as far as overall, thoughts on that, the taste, the smell, the side effect, and the potency, I guess what you want to call it, or the side effects of the euphoria, and all that entails. Some are help you with focus, and I'm finding out there's so many different things out there for medical uses and benefits. I just recently, after reading quite a few articles on CBD oil and just hemp in general for the best pain relief, they are now saying you need to use hemp from the entire plant for the most effective pain relief. So we're not talking just CBD alone. We're talking about the THC, THCA, and other cannabinoids that have been isolated to go into certain strains. So I don't know if you all know this, but with JK Distro, you can put together side effects that you would like to have, whether it's focus and you'd like to be relaxed and maybe aroused and maybe just chill, whatever you want to feel, you can put that down, and they will do a 6-month grow. So basically, they're going to grow a strain that you put together. You designed it. You said, hey, this is what I want in mine. This is how I want mine to make me feel. And they can grow it. It's all scientifically done. It takes about 6 months for them to do the grow. And so, yeah, that's exciting. So if you have the opportunity to do that, please try that out. LSDJ has done it, and he could definitely tell you more about that experience, but I know he was extremely happy with the strain that he got from his 6-month grow. So check that out. Also, again, like I said, hit that notification bell, hit the subscribe, you'll be notified. We want to talk about what this whole thing really started over. LSDJ and I both have had some really, really crazy true life experiences, stories, times where we found ourselves in a living hell, and we had to claw our way out of there, with or without the support of friends or family at times, and other times we did have some support, sometimes from odd places. But we would like to share with you our stories and the things that we did to overcome. We were just talking about the Phoenix Rising, and that's the image I see in my mind when I have been hit hard, which in the last 3 years, and this is just only a part of it, I have survived so much. I lost my husband in a fire 3 years ago, this past February 6th, in our home, and then in December of 22, my daughter was staying with me, and at 2:20 in the morning, my house was shot up with a 9mm in a drive-by shooting. We all survived. No one was hit or hurt, thankfully, but it was still very traumatic experience for all of us. Me especially. I was very afraid for my daughter. She was trying to protect me, and I was trying to protect her, and so and it has left me with some after effects. You know, I'm very jumpy, loud noises cause me to be jumpy, just different things, and I'm doing a lot better than I was there at first. A lot of it was so shocking because we live in kind of a smaller town. It's not super small, but it's not a big city, and the drive-by shootings are something you just don't really hear about in our area, even though they do happen. It's not anything where I could call someone to talk to, a support line of any kind locally, because it's just not, there's just not a need. There's just not that many drive-bys that they feel is necessary to put in some kind of a helpline. And I do think in Indiana that would be wise to have something in Indianapolis or wherever. It's a call center. It doesn't matter where it's at, as long as the people of Indiana have access to it, because there's more drive-bys than what people realize, especially in Fort Wayne and Indianapolis. But our smaller cities, you know, it's pretty shocking. After the drive-by, I'm trying to think, there's just been so many things, but I have mentioned I have severe osteoporosis, and I moved from my house to a one-bedroom apartment October 7th, where I fell after we dropped off the first load, and I shattered my wrist. I had to go in for surgery, and they had to put a plate in, and I do have a nasty little scar. I don't know if you can see it. I put vitamin E oil on it, but it's right down there, and then I have a plate right here. A few weeks after that surgery, I ruptured a tendon, so my thumb doesn't go up any further than that anymore. But they did another surgery to try to fix that tendon, so I have a scar here and a little scar on the knuckle. And that was done in November, where they fixed the tendon. In December, my L3 collapsed and I had a compression fracture. I was admitted overnight to the hospital, and the next day they did what's called a kyphoplasty, and they filled my L3 with bone cement. I had problems after that procedure with huge amount of pain, some other medical issues that came about after that procedure. I had very little mobility. I was in too much pain to move or walk. From December 3rd or 4th, clear up through Christmas, and I went back to the hospital a few days after Christmas, and they gave me some medication and a shot, and mainly anti-inflammatory, which helped with the pain to a degree. And then sciatica flared up on both my left and right sides, and it was too painful to walk. I pushed myself, but I was really in too much pain to walk from the sciatica. And then on January 19th, I fell again, went forward, broke my kneecap and 4 vertebrae in my back, 2 in my lumbar spine and 2 in my thoracic spine. And they did what's called a vertebroplasty, where they didn't fill the whole vertebrae with bone cement and reshape it. They did bone cement over the fracture. So I spent 5 days in the hospital with a broken kneecap and 4 compression fractures in my back. And I have been recovering. I have also, since that injury, I not been able to go anywhere outside of my apartment without a wheelchair. I can walk more. The last week I started trying, and I'm walking a lot more without my walker and cane, although the doctors really wanted me in bubble wrap and definitely in the walker. They felt like I'm safer in there. So, and many of them did offer to wrap me in bubble wrap. These surgeons did. I kept waking up without the bubble wrap. Then one of the nurses said, well, we could put you in bubble wrap in a human-sized hamster ball and maybe I wouldn't get hurt, but I'd figure something out, I'm sure. So anyway, January, like I said, it was 5 days in the hospital. Since then, I have fractured 3 more vertebrae, and part of this is caused because Medicaid denied payment on an injection I was giving myself every day of a medicine that promotes new bone growth and making my bones stronger. And so from November 1st to December, I've had no medication. So the fractures are just, my bones are so fragile that it doesn't take anything for me to fracture a vertebrae. And I've got, I think 11 out of 24 now have been fractured. And then my caregiver came in November to stay with me and help me full time. And I have not been able to drive since my accident in January. Oh, backing up, I have developed a deformity of my spine. I have what's called kyphosis, which is basically hunchback. So I'm very disfigured, and I went from 5'1" and 3/4 inches to now I'm 4'8". So I'm now overgrown dwarf. As the best thing I can think of, the closest thing I can think of. But anyway, so that's where I'm at. So then yesterday, my caregiver, he has been doing a delivery job using my vehicle, and he had a seizure driving the car yesterday afternoon, and he rear-ended a parked car at 35 miles an hour. And now today, I'm the one taking care of him. He's got a fractured sternum. There's a hiatal hernia because of the sternum fracture break. And he's in a lot of pain, and he's, like I was, grouchy and mean and miserable. That's why you didn't see much videos from me for a while, because all that pain, I was really struggling with. Depression, anxiety, and I finally had to reach out to my medical team and say, look, you know, I'm doing everything I can, and I'm just so depressed because I'm very active normally, and I just go and everything. And since all of these things have happened since October, I have spent, well, especially January through present, I have spent a lot of time down, laid up on the couch with feet propped up and the whole 9 yards. I sit a lot more because it's too painful to stand and walk. So I went from a very active lifestyle to where I'm more sedentary, and I'm having to make some pretty big lifestyle changes. Yeah, I'm in the process of that. So anyway, we did want to tell you there is a launch party we're planning, and it just keeps getting pushed further along between LSDJ's health, my health, and everything. But we're going to try to make this happen this summer. A launch party in Nashville. Again, click that notification bell, watch our videos. You're going to stay updated on everything we have going on. But back to the podcast. You know, when I was in the hospital in January, I told one of the nurses that the pain that I was going through was worse than anything I'd ever been through, and the way I had intended to deal and make good of my previous pain, emotional, mental, physical, but mainly I would say probably mostly emotional prior to the last few years with the osteoporosis. But what LSDJ and I wanted to do with these crazy stories and these times that we found ourselves in hell, the process I go through, I wallow in pity for what I call moments, not weeks and months and years. It might be a few weeks, but I wallow in my pity. Then I get angry, and then I get up and I do something about it, and I change my situation. I overcome the adversity. I'm not the kind of person that a mountain drops down in my path and it turns me back around to go home. I don't tuck my tail and go home. I find a way over, around, or through that mountain or whatever adversity is in my path. I'm an overcomer. I'm very determined to change my circumstances, and I have to stay proactive every day and do what I call daily maintenance of my mindset, my perception. Appreciate things that I have in my life. I'm not talking just material things. The love I have from my children, my grandchildren, friends, the support I have from my children and family and friends. It overwhelms me at times. I'm very fortunate to be so loved, even though sometimes I don't always feel that way. My family and friends really do love me and support me. So, again, I'm an overcomer. But one of the things, when I get to the point, when I go through something like this, I deal with it with music. Music is therapeutic for not just the musician, but the listener as well. And what helps me, this is what we want to bring in our podcast, because we want you to tell your stories and your times of hell and what you did and what tips and what was the music you listened to. Because for me, I have angry rage songs. I like some AC/DC. I like Alice in Chains. I like Nine Inch Nails. I like just a whole bunch of different things that help me deal with the anger part of things, because grief, when you're grieving, there's an anger stage. When you're going through hell, there's a place where, at least for me, I get angry, but that's what motivates me to change my situation and help it get better, or make it get better. And so that's something we want to talk about too in our podcast and how it relates. And then I have songs when I'm ready to when I'm working through the adversity that motivates and reaffirms me. I listen to the song Unstoppable by Sia. Not a big Sia fan, not a big fan the music in that song, but the lyrics are why I listen to it, because you got to be careful what you put in your head sometimes. And I listen to these songs every day. I change my playlist around as time goes on, and I discover other songs, or I find some that have meaning to me. But Unstoppable is a good one. Rachel Patton's Fight song. There's a remix of Katy Perry's Roar and Imagine Dragons' Believer, and that one I like. Kanye West, Stronger. I listened to Wonder by Natalie Merchant, just to remind me that I am one of God's wonders, and and I'm unstoppable. And I do have a fight song, and when I rise up from the ashes, like the phoenix rising, when I rise up, I am unstoppable. And there's other songs that I listen to. I listen to Good Day by Nappy Roots and Lizzo's Good as Hell. Those are on my current playlist. I am about to change some things around because some of them I've listened to for a good long while. Oh, Crazy Bitch by Buck Cherry is another one that I like when I'm kind of feeling crazy. And, you know, so there's, we want to talk to you, talk about your songs, what you listen to. We want to get your ideas and things you may have done in times where you were down in hell, clawing your way out. What did you listen to? What was the songs that helped keep you strong, keep you going, and helped you overcome? Because we can learn as much from you, if not more, from you than you can from us, and help each other. And that's what we want this podcast to be about, is turning pain into power. So with that, I'm going to say good night. Who manifested this shit? Be watching for special editions on tomorrow's eclipse. And yeah, so everybody enjoy that eclipse tomorrow. Like I said, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, please. We're anxious to hear your comments. And, you know, if you got a short story or you just want to tell me some of your songs. Right now I'm looking for good overcoming songs, empowerment songs right now, because I'm trying to keep going and trying to keep myself positive, trying to keep myself above the ashes. So if you've got some ideas of some good music to listen to, please share with me. And it could be about anything. You don't have to be about the empowerment. It can be, you know, your good angry song or your good feel-good song. Sometimes we need just a good feel-good song, like Sheryl Crow's I Just Want to Have Fun, or Kid Rock all summer long, something like that. You know, give me some ideas, because right now I'm kind of at a block, at a loss. I can't remember all the songs I've listened to over the years. And so, and I know there's lots of them out there I've not yet heard. So with that, you all have a good, pleasant evening. We love you. And I again, thank you so much for all your love and support. When my friend is not in so much pain, I'm sure he's going to be back helping me do some reviews. Be watching for that. We are waiting on some of the apple fritter from JK Distro to do a review on. So possibly we can get my friend on here this week if he's feeling well enough to help with the review. If not, I'll be doing it alone. So anyway, again, have a good night. Who manifested this shit? We'll see you next time.